Today we're making dog treats. Come on in, welcome to my home. I'm telling you right off the bat, this video is filmed out of order. Like completely and totally out of order. I am doing this part, well, the end part, first. But I guess we should jump to the beginning. So let's jump to the beginning right now. I still find this hysterical that we've jumped in time. That now we're back. Anyway, for me, it's weird. Alright, so, as I said before, the ingredients are all listed down below. So are the links to all the products that I use, but this is so simple. I have frozen vegetables. Now you can use fresh vegetables if you have them. I didn't this time. So I'm going to put them into my food processor. As you can see, I have 2 bowls out here because of that. I'm messy. I'll admit this. I'm messy. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we are just going to pulse this, wherever pulse is. Once it'll no longer pulse, what you're going to do is you're going to add a little bit of water so that you can make a paste. I'm going to take my mixture and then just dump it into my blender. Then once again, do it again. Now the thing to remember about this, there are no fillers in this. None whatsoever. And don't forget, this doesn't have to be perfectly finely chopped. Take this out. Little scrapey scrape. Now, if I were not doing a double batch, I'd make sure to thoroughly and completely clean this out. But I'm doing a double batch. Now, I'm going to take a good amount of parsley. You're saying, well, what's the parsley for? Well, supposedly it helps dogs with their breath. My dog needs stuff to help with her breath. On low. Mix this up. In case you're wondering why I'm doing this right now, I've done it the other way before. That was a mess. That was thoroughly a mess. Now what we're going to do, a little bit at a time, we are going to add our ground turkey meat. Put some in. On low, mix it up. Once that's incorporated, put some more in. Mix it up. Please remember you are working with raw turkey. Extra care is going to be needed. Scrub down everything once you get done with this. Make sure that you scrub your hands. Alright, this is my big food dehydrator. It's huge. I know it's huge, but I make huge batches of this. Let me get this out of the way so that we can put this onto the trays. Okay, now comes the long, tedious part. I used to do this with a jerky press. However, I had a bigger dog at that time. With this dog, the jerky press it makes it a little too big. So all I'm using is a small ice cream scoop, cookie scoop, whatever you want to call it, making them into patties, and placing them onto the trays. Yes, right now this is really, really cold. And now you can see why it wasn't all that important to make sure that everything was absolutely thoroughly chopped up into a paste, because when it dries, it'll all bind together. And this is the no filler whatsoever. What else have I put into this? I have put in, let's see, sweet potato. It just depends what I have at the time. Make sure that your dog is not allergic or can actually eat what you put into it. Things that you do not want to put in there are things like raisins, I think it's the seeds which get to dogs. You want to make sure that they're not eating like apple seeds, those sort of things. You can put in some fruits in this. And yes, for those of you who are freaking out because there's raw meat which is hitting my butcher block, don't worry, I will thoroughly clean it. Now, let's do the magic of Halloween. Let's speed this up. Now let's talk about the bulkier version. So some of you might be saying, well, this is great, but what if I have a lot of dogs to give treats to, or I just need to make, bulk them out just a bit? Well, here's a way. This does use a filler. Some people are completely against fillers, and if you are completely against fillers, that's absolutely fine. But also I want to stress, make sure that your dog is not allergic to whatever it is you're using as a filler. I'm going to be using the oats that I make my oat milk out of. If you want to learn how to make oat milk, just click that eye in the sky. It'll teach you how to make oat milk. I am using those. My dog is not allergic to those whatsoever, but you have to figure out what works for you. Now where it changes is the oats. I'm going to use about half of these oats simply because the rest of them I'm going to feed to the birds which are out there. Actually, they're waiting for me because I usually give them these oats anyway. You could put these oats into a composter, or you can even make cookies out of them. There are lots of different things that you can do. Slowly add in our meat. This becomes a lot more. You can just look at this and see how much it has almost like tripled in size. Now we just go back to the same exact process. The color is a lot lighter simply because of the oats in there. But I want to stress, this is the filler part. If you have a lot of dogs that you're making treats for, you can use this. You do not have to use this. If you are against fillers or you're worried about, your dog having an allergic reaction to it, your dog is allergic to it, leave out the filler. Just go with just the meat and the vegetables. Or if you don't even want to feed the vegetables, you can do this with just the meat. Now, in case you're wondering where this recipe came from, I used to go and buy my dog turkey dog treats, which were really cool. They were slices of turkey that had been dehydrated. They now cost $20 for a small bag. Okay, once all of your meat is all prepared, I'm going to put the lid on it. It's probably glaring all over the place. Set it on the meat setting, which on this one is 165 degrees. You can do these in your oven, however, it is a little bit harder. You have to keep an eye on them really well. Then I'm going to let this go. I usually let it go between 12 and 16 hours, depending upon how wet it is. Let it go, thoroughly dehydrate, thoroughly dehydrate. This is not like beef jerky, which you still want to have some bend in it. I want these to be crunchy because this is a good way for Faith to get some nice crunch into her food. Now let's jump back in time to where this all started. Alright, so now that you've seen how they're made, they're put into the dehydrator and dehydrated when you get done, 12 to 16 hours later, depending upon your day, you get a nice crisp dog treat. Oh, I just broke these in half. My dog's not going to be happy with me. Then you are ready to put them into whatever kind of container that you want. What I showed you was me doing a double batch. That will be enough for at least bare minimum 2 months, and that's if mom goes crazy and gives her dog all sorts of kind of dog treats. But these last for like ever. They are, since they are dehydrated, they're so good. They're so wonderful. She absolutely loves them. As you can tell from the video footage, she will do anything for these. And I even can get her on camera eating them, which is, if you know anything about Faith, she does not like to be on camera. She thinks the camera is going to attack her. But these are so easy to make and so wonderful. And in case you're wondering why I filmed this out of order, it's simply because of the 12 to 14 hours it takes to dehydrate these. Since I didn't want to spend all of my day waiting to edit this video, I went ahead and did this part first, because I make these all the time. This is one of the cool things that I can tell you, that this isn't one of those recipes where I'm like, oh, occasionally I make it. No, no, no. I make these every other month. Every other month I make these. I have them all the time. And this version, I do it 2 different ways. I do the one version that has the oats from my soaked oats, and the other version that has no oats. The oats realistically are just a filler. They are not necessary at all. Now, what is interesting is, and I explain this, I'm certain, so I'll probably cut this out, but what's interesting is I was going to use the chicken broth, and I had some chicken broth. However, Mom, which I was really proud of her, she did check my schedule, which is online, and she saw that I wasn't doing anything which she thought would use chicken broth, so she used my chicken broth to make herself some soup. It's okay, so I had to use water instead. But these are amazing. My dog loves them, and like I said, if you don't want to use the filler, you can use just the regular treats without the oats, because the oats really are filler. Well, if you make these, let me know. You can get a hold of me on most social media at CM Coleman Home. Don't forget to check out the description for all the ingredients, also the links for the products that I use. And if this is your first time here, remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and don't forget to share this video so that way we can grow our neighborhood. And I hope I get to see you again next time. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can share it. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the other videos on this channel. I love making these videos for you, and I hope I get to see you again next time.